just didn't have it. Caught me off guard. We had practiced really well the last 2 days. Team spirit was really good, like it is when you win 3 in a row. But give Mississippi State credit. They had lost some tough games here in the last, just the same way we had won 3 in a row. They kind of had lost some difficult games, and they came in here on edge and defended and brought a physicality to the game. That's all we talk to about our players is the physicality that they play with. And we didn't do a very good job of answering the bell from that standpoint. And they dictated the game offensively and defensively. And you can't do that on the road against good teams and expect to win.
Questions for Coach? Colin?
Yeah, Frank, you guys went through that long scoring drought in the first half there. What was kind of the key theme to that, and why did the offense struggle so much in the first half to just really get anything going?
They guarded us. We couldn't screen them. We couldn't get by them off the dribble. We tried to ball screen them. We couldn't get by them. We tried to set pin downs. We couldn't get clean. Our big guys gave us nothing offensively. We couldn't throw it in the post, and it was just bad. It just, in their first possession of the game, they ran exactly what we told the team they were going to run it. They got the ball exactly where they wanted to. We didn't disrupt. They threw it right to Garrison Brooks. We accepted the post-up play behind, and he jumped up and made a hard shot to create the personality of the game the way it was going to start. And that's how we played on offense. We played early with no purpose and no aggression.
Mike Eva?
Frank, when James was just in here, I don't know if necessarily you would agree with this, but I just, if you do, if you can just elaborate more, maybe what he's talking about. I asked him, not just this game, but when you think back to even some of the winning streak that you guys had, some of the starts defensively that were a little bit slower, especially in the paint. And then you guys were able to make those adjustments in the second half. And even tonight, you guys were able to, show some more fight towards the end. What do you think that is in the first half? He said maybe it's guys trying to do a little too much at times. Didn't know if you could either elaborate on that or if you necessarily agree with that or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we've started bad defensively the last 3 or 4 games. We just haven't scored. And you play good teams, you don't score, you're going to fall behind. That's but our field goal percentage defense is, I think, second in the SEC, and it's top 20 in the country. So defensively, I don't think that's been an issue. Offensive basketball continues to be our challenge. Point guard play in the center spot. Those 2 places are challenging for us. And Mississippi State's a real good team. We sit around sometimes and we forget that some of these teams we're playing are really good. And you go in there and play, and you get a goose egg from your starting center up until 2 free throws late, and you get nothing from Jermaine until the very end of the game where he made a couple threes, and you get nothing from Keyshawn Bryant. It's going to be hard to win. It's a challenge. And, so now James and Eric, now they're forced to try and do things offensively that's not their strengths, which, but they're trying. And we're going to be all right. We had a bad day at the office, and Mississippi State was on point, and they came after us, and we couldn't respond early enough to slow the bleeding the way we needed to.
Alex?
Frank, Mississippi State was dominant on the boards tonight. Just what did you see that allowed them to be that dominant rebounding?
Yeah, that's who they are. They're I want to say they lead the SEC in rebounding margin. I could be wrong, but that's who they are. That's all we talked about going into the game is the physicality that they're going to play with. We didn't answer the bell. In the first half, we couldn't score, and we put up no fight to rebound either. And that's, Keyshawn and Wildens, the personality to start the game. Let's go get some offensive rebounds and let them know, like, you rebound, so do we, and which we do. And we didn't do that. Neither one of those guys gave us anything there. And we missed a whole lot of shots in the first half. And then they shot 60% from the field in the first half. So they didn't miss a lot of shots, yet they had offensive rebounds, which means they got most of them. And So they brought the fight, and we got hit hard early, and we got staggered, and we couldn't regain our thought process, our personality that we fought hard to create with this team. And chalk one up to them. They got us.
Colin?
Yeah, Frank, you mentioned the point guard spot. How would you evaluate Devin tonight and over the last 2 or 3 games? And is there any more you can do from a coaching perspective, a scheme perspective, to squeeze more out of that position?
No, it is what it is. Those are the guys we got, and we're gonna keep working with them. Devin, he knows the game. Give me the ball, and I'm gonna go score. And he's learning the hard way that in the SEC doesn't work. I mean, you remember Iverson Molinar, the guy we just played as a freshman. He had a lot of turnovers and shot a low percentage because he was trying to do what Devin does right now, and that's part of the journey. You gotta understand the college game, and you gotta understand when you can and can't go. But Devin's trying really hard, and Jermaine's been playing well for us. Didn't play well today, but he's been playing well for us. And then Jacoby's got Jacoby's gonna be really good. But right now he's struggling. I was happy to see him play more aggressive in the second half when I put him in there. I thought he was really passive in the first half, and that's something that I've talked to him a lot about. You got to be more aggressive. But it's 2 freshmen and Jermaine who we're playing with at the point. So those are our guys, and they work and they care, and we're gonna keep fighting with them.
Corey?
Frank, you've talked about James. The last couple of weeks, I felt like he's looked more comfortable. He offensively has seemed to have had a little more creativity. Can you just speak to just his growth and what you just kind of see from him offensively in spots? It seems like, especially tonight, he had a really good recognition of kind of what was going on and kind of what the team needed offensively.
Yeah, James is wired, man. He comes in every day. I don't have to ask him to compete. I don't have to ask him to listen. He comes in every day, and he's going. He's going to guard. He's going to play offensively. He's going to understand the structure, and he fights his tail off, and he keeps getting better as a player. And as a coach, when you got a player doing all those things, that guy gets your trust. So you start giving him more leeway, and because he listens and understands, and he's always in the right place. He's able to grow and succeed. And James is I'm having a lot of fun coaching James. He watching him grow, because he's doing more things than just catch and shoot threes. He had 3 assists today. He's doing a little bit more off the bounce and getting to those spots and knowing when to do that. And that's a credit to him, man. I'm really happy I get to coach him this year.
Michael?
Even though he's just a freshman, I mean, how much do you miss a guy like Trayvon Woodley with, how the bigs were performing today? And just, I mean, what did you make of guys like Trayvon Minot and Josh Gray out there?
Well, if you look at Wildens, I'm looking at the stat sheet real quick. Wildens had 1 rebound in 19 minutes of play. Josh Gray had 1 rebound, and Trayvon had 2 rebounds. So we got 4 rebounds combined from those guys. Trayvon Woodley brings a toughness and a personality at the rim that those guys didn't give us today. And now saying Trayvon's the savior, that's not the case. Those 3 guys that I just mentioned got to be a lot better. But Trayvon brings there's a nastiness to him, a mindset to him that he makes our team better when he's in practice, let alone in games.